Hey everybody, I'm Manny. Welcome back to my channel, Aftershave. So today we're going to be using a new shaving cream. I've had this for a while. Haven't had a chance to pick it up since Father's Day. I wouldn't say a long while, but this is the one that I got. I don't know if you can see it because I have the auto exposure lock on, but it's the Ocean Kelp. Right here. I have the auto exposure lock on because of all the white background, so it tends to jack up the video. But as you all know, the art of shaving is a cream, and I'm gonna take that off. And then it's got that little cap on top. That's a cream. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape off what's on top of this here. This should be more than enough. Way more than enough, I'm almost positive. Use that. I'm gonna be bald lathering today. Hopefully the color's not too dark. I don't like all the glare on my face. Have my brush soaking in hot water. Synthetic, you don't need to do it, but I do. Synthetic from Razor Rock. I'm gonna go ahead and pull into the bristles, and then I'll work it into my bowl to work it into the bristles. So I want to tell everybody thank you. I'm sorry that the camera moved. I have it standing a weird way. I want to say thank you to everybody who gave me all the, nice wishes, and or give me good advice to stay positive and stuff. Because when I posted up my last video, I had just was getting ready to go to the viewing of my uncle, and then that was on Friday. On Saturday we did his burial, and so thank you for all that you have said in the comments, because it was really helpful. Hopefully this damn camera doesn't fall. I'm better gonna go ahead and bowl out, like I said. And thank you for all your concerns towards my family, and the concerns towards my back. Sucks to say, but I mean, it is what it is. My back did get better. That's what was one of my biggest concerns, is that I was hoping my back would get better before I did the carrying my uncle's casket, being one of the pallbearers, which it was. But there was an issue, as my pops, was walking down the aisle to go see his brother. He collapsed on me, not all the way, but I felt when his knees buckled, and me and my brothers were there behind him to catch him. Me and my three brothers. There's four of us, but three only can make it. So when he collapsed, and or when I felt his knees buckle, and I felt he was gonna give, my back tensed up, and it threw my back out again. So right now I got this little doohickey thing that gives you like shock therapy, and that's what I got on right now to help the pain for right now. So when I get back from my trip, I just got out the shower. My hair's still wet. I just got out the shower, and getting ready to do my shave and to head out. And this stuff is looking great. So yeah, so I don't have time right now because I've been playing a lot of catch up and everything, because I was busy for the service and then the burial, and so right now, yesterday and today, I just been playing catch up. So I don't have time right now to go back to the masseuse or the chiropractor for that matter. But they gotta get going. I love this scent. It smells really good. First time using it, and I've used the Aftershave before, so I know the performance is really good. I've been so damn busy that I haven't even had a chance to go get a haircut, man. But today we're gonna be using, I know y'all been getting tired of watching the Rockwell and my Merkers, but gonna be using this bad boy today, my Fatboy. And of course I will forget to get the date code, not the date code, but the actual date. I tried to remember, but I forgot. But the date code on this one is G1 GL. But you won't be able to see it because I have the auto exposure on. Yeah, you won't see it. But my Fatboy, and it does come with the blade dispenser. And I will be using a new blade today. Now when it comes to my I'll be using the Personna Lab Blues. Not many people know that the Lab Blues actually came in this 5-pack. They're not hard to find, but they're out there. A lot of people don't know because they get the 100 packs because they don't know that they have the 5s. But these are Personna Lab Blues. I would show you the pack, but I long ago threw them away. So I mean, I know a lot of you guys hook them and put them on. It really doesn't matter, man. I just hooked it on right now. Okay, so about these, all my vintage razors, I didn't put on. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you will notice that I did a list of my best blades and my worst blades, and how I confirmed that was when it comes to my Merker blades or my Merker razors, that's how I justified the best to the worst, because normally if one blade worked for this one, it would work for that razor, for that razor, for that razor, so on and so forth. But I only did that with my well-known razors that always gave me a good shave if I had a good blade. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Gillettes or the old school type or the vintage type, they're very hard to find a good blade that matches well, that gives you a good shave. So I have only maybe 2 or 3 blades. I have the Vashkod, the Sputnik, the Gillette Silver Blues, and maybe another 1 or 2 or something like that. But they took me a long time to find blades that would work with any of my vintage, my Slim, my Fatboy, my Black Beauty, so on and so forth. But so when it comes to this, I'm going to try a new blade for this one, a Personna Lab Blue. It's not new to me physically, but it's new for this razor. So it is going to be on setting 7. The blade's already loaded in. So that final quarter turn, warm up the razor, and let's get into the shave. Yeah, so the funeral, the viewing, everything went really well. Got to meet a lot of new family that I haven't seen um, in a long, well, not new family, but family I haven't seen in years, 20 years. Um, People who I highly respected as a kid, you know, for all that they did. Because, not to make a long story short, I had a very, very rough childhood growing up. I mean, if you guys can think it up or mention it, I've lived it. I went a really bad childhood, man, and I'm fortunate to be the man that I am today because of it. Um, so, a lot of these guys, my pops' friends growing up, I respected them because I saw everything and I remembered everything. How they were there for us and backed us up, 100%, and so a lot of these guys, I ask my pops all the time, hey, what happened to so and so? Have you talked to him? And they tell me, give me a sec, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back for the second pass, and sorry I'm all over the place. Let me lock this auto exposure back in. There we go. Hopefully that's not too dark or light. Yeah, so I'm sorry I'm all over the place. First pass was with the grain, and second pass now, cross the grain. So, like I was saying, so I asked my pops, quite often, every now and again, hey, what happened with so and so? How are they doing? Some are sadly to say are no longer living, have passed. Some no longer live in the state. So they're out of reach. A lot of them we've lost contact with, so there's no way to call. And fortunately enough, the day, how I forgot what it's called. How they have a luncheon. So after the burial service, we all went over to my grandpa's, not my grandpa, my uncle's house, across the green, for the luncheon. And it's still on setting 7. Yeah, so we went over for the luncheon. And, we just started shooting the shit, asking everybody who they were, because we didn't recognize anybody. And normally when you're a pallbearer, it's someone very close to the family. I've been to a lot of funerals, sad to say. And whether it's friends or family, it's always somebody that's really close to that person who passed away. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be, but that's just the way I've seen it, and that's what I've always been explained. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean, hey, you know what, guys, I just noticed that I left the fan on, and I don't know if it's making a lot of noise in here, but let me turn that off. Give me a second. Let me wipe my camera off because I don't know if I got anything on here. Sorry, guys. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a family member, but it can be a best friend. So we started asking each other, how are you related to this person, and so on and so forth. But there was this one dude there who, don't know why, but now I kind of have a feeling why. But he really was catching my attention. And after I found out who he was, it made a lot of sense. Something about him kept catching my attention. And so I asked him, I said, hey, the whole time you've been sitting with so-and-so, how are you related to that person? And he said, that's my grandma. And I'm like, grandma? I know everybody on that side of the family. Grandma, I just, it wasn't, I couldn't comprehend, I couldn't remember, how did I miss him? Whose father is, who's his father? So I asked him, I said, hey, who's your pops? And he said, hey, it's so-and-so, And they call him Javier, or Javier. But let me get back to that. Let me rinse this off and I'll be back. Alright, back for pass 3, and this is going to be against the grain. Yeah, so he said, my pops is Javier. And I couldn't remember, Javier, who, I couldn't, I just kept thinking, and had a brain fart. I couldn't figure out who he was, and then he said, hey, it's so-and-so's, he goes by nickname. I'm not going to give the nickname. But when he said the nickname right there, it clicked. Okay, I'm thinking the nickname, then his real name, the nickname, the real name, and I was like, okay, I know who he is. And I started tearing up, man. I just, if you understand, when you got a respect for somebody that powerful, and let me lock this auto exposure back in. I think that's okay. When you got respect for somebody that powerful, you would understand. And he's like, are you alright? And he looked at me all weird. I said, dude, do you have any idea how much respect I have for your pops? And he's like, yeah, I could see that. And I was like, hey, man, we went through some really hard times as a kid. As I went through a hard time as a kid. And I was like, and then my pops went through a very hard time as a dad, And your pops was one of the first people to jump on board to give us a hand. And I was like, that right there is a true definition of a best friend. I remember all the stuff that he did for us. And so I just started talking. I was like, dude, you know how many times I've asked for your pops, man? I always ask for your pops. And my dad was right there. And I said, hey, pops, come over real quick. He goes, what's going on? I said, hey, do you know who this is? And he's like, no. He looks familiar. And I was like, you never believe who this is? Can you guess just by looking at him? And he just gave up. He said, no, he looks really familiar, but no, I don't know who he is. I don't know whose son he is. And so we said, hey, it's Javier's son. And he couldn't believe it. And my dad started tearing up. So it was cool. And so it was cool, you know. Like I said, we haven't seen people in a long time, and I got to meet a lot of them. But that guy right there was one of the most special ones. And at the time, we were almost close to the same age. He doesn't remember very much. So I jogged his memory, and I said, hey, you know, when we were doing this, when we were doing that, and we went here and went there, and you know, it was cool, man. It was really cool. It just sucks that it takes these kind of events to, you know, finally get together and reach out to family again, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. Back setting 7. I love these Personna Lab Blues, but on this one, on the Against the Grain pass, feels a little tuggy. So I think I'm gonna have to drop it down. Oh yeah, see? It doesn't hurt, I didn't feel it, but yeah, it feels a little tuggy. Let me drop this down real quick. Well, let's do 3. Alright, I'm gonna do something a little different today, guys. Give me your thoughts and comments. I'm gonna leave out the cleanup pass. I'm gonna clean up off camera and then come back for the post. So let me know what you guys think. Alright, sorry, I just want to see if this might work a little bit better. It might be something a little different, but let me know what you guys think. Alright, let me rinse off and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I just finished up my cleanup pass off camera, so we're gonna go ahead and go with the alum block. This blade, I don't think it's gonna stay in the rotation with this razor. Yeah, there's quite a bit of feedback. Here and here, and definitely it's gonna be some on my neck. A lot of feedback here, here. Nothing on the lips. Let me go ahead and rinse this alum block off. Yeah, the only reason why I decided to do the cleanup passes off camera was because my cleanup passes do take longer than others, because the way my hair growth grows, it does this, and it's just hard. It takes too long doing my cleanup passes, so um, I kind of want to save you the headache. Um, but um, this shave wasn't that bad, but that definitely won't be a razor that will be coming back in my rotation. Gonna be using the Stip Tick. It's gel repair. Um, so gonna use that today. Don't need it, but sometimes some of these like to creep out on their own. So take care of it now. And it doesn't take long to work. So just wet that so it doesn't get all white on me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Nivea Two Phase, sent over by a very good friend, local wet shaver. So gonna shake this up. There you go. I think it matches pretty well with this. Oh, you know what? So I don't waste it, I forgot to throw my witch hazel on. So I just dumped it in my little cup right here. Do anything all backwards. There's witch hazel, lemon, and this matches well also because the Ocean Kelp has got a citrus note to it. So the aftershave wasn't wasted. I have it here, sitting in my cup. Okay. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm gonna go back for some more. The menthol. And I don't do this because it burns. I do it because it feels good when you have that menthol on you. It makes everything cooler. And I like that reaction, that feeling. All right then, and obviously no aftershave balm because that's a 2-in-1. And gonna go ahead and throw some Nautica Blue on. Rinse off the brush just a little bit. So when we went with the Razor Rock Plissoft style knot. We went with the, top this back up, the Ocean Kelp, if y'all can see that, from Art of Shaving. Went with the Gillette Fatboy on setting, it was on setting 7 to begin the first, second, and third pass. Third pass I had to knock it down with this blade to number 3. Did okay. I had to do a lot of buffing, I'm sorry, to get a good shave. Then we topped it off. I know they're all out of order, but we topped it off with a witch hazel, lemon. Used this the gel repair, Mystic gel, alum block, and we went with the Personna Lab Blues in the 5-pack. It's like the container, little container thing with the blade bank in the back. And if y'all can see that. So that's my shave, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm sorry that I bored you guys to death today. I kind of bored myself. So if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and y'all have a good day. So I'm gonna have it's gonna be a difficult trip this time around because things are changing. We left our original loads we were doing and decided to go back to reefer units, so hauling refrigerated loads and frozen loads. So going back to that, so it's gonna be a little bit of a different schedule. So you might not see some videos for quite a bit because we, instead of coming back every other day, we come back every week, which is more money. So that doesn't bother me none. But hopefully y'all don't, like JCW and Alex were saying, I'm outgrowing a beard. And I was like, goddamn guys, man, what the hell? I'm not even growing no beard, man. Come on now. But love you guys. But yeah, there won't be no beard growing here, so it's gonna be a little bit before y'all see your next video, maybe. So stop on by. I'll keep you guys posted. Take a look at my Instagram, for any further updates and stuff like that. So if I can't do a shaving video, there will be posts up on my shave of the days. So y'all have a good one, alright? Stay safe. Bye.